One thing is becoming clear. We've been covering Davos here on the show, and it's that time of year again. It's the first time we've had Davos, the World Economic Forum, where these rich people get together to decide your fate. We haven't had this in a few years, so it's face-to-face, right?
Yeah.
And they're not going to do this thing virtually because they want to be able to go to Switzerland and spend ridiculous amounts of money on food and rub elbows with the elite. But one thing that is becoming clear this year at Davos, maybe more than any other, is that they really, really, really want to control your life. They want to control just about every aspect of your life, from the moment you're born to tracking everything you're eating to your bank accounts, all of it. And you think that I'm maybe being conspiratorial or like hyperbolic, but they say it out loud, and then it happens. And so many of the people, I just reading through a lot of different comments over the past few days about Davos, they're like, in the past few years, everything they said where we thought it was a conspiracy theory has come true. It's all happened. And that's where I want to draw your attention today, which is the Alibaba Group president, Michael Evans, boasting about developing a carbon footprint tracker. So this is their new thing, right? And I'm going to unpack this a little bit here, but I just want to play the soundbite. And he's so excited about it. He's like, let me just explain how amazing this is. A carbon footprint tracker, so we know exactly what you're doing. Listen to him excited and thinks that we're all going to go along with this.
We're developing, through technology, an ability for consumers to measure their own carbon footprint. What does that mean?
Well,
that's where are they traveling? How are they traveling? What are they eating? What are they consuming on the platform? So, individual carbon footprint tracker. Stay tuned. We don't have it operational yet, but this is something that we're working on. We're developing.
Watch this. I love it.
Through tech.
Hold on. So I want to play that again because I love how he's just like, this is amazing. And you guys are ready to be blown away by what we're about to do to you. Watch.
Technology, an ability for consumers to measure their own carbon footprint.
So
what does that mean?
What does that mean? That sounds fun.
Where are they traveling? How are they traveling? What are they eating? What are they consuming on the platform?
Yeah, we all got around in a meeting room and decided that would be amazing.
What's the carbon footprint of your text?
How can we travel? Can we copy and follow everything that you're doing everywhere you go, so we know exactly what how much carbon you're using in on the planet? So the responses to this, of course, were immediate and laughable. John says, "We are working on so that you." Anytime, so this isn't what that. Isn't what this is. It's not so someone in the Bay Area can boast about how environmental they are. It will integrate with your banking system with kill switches. So if you go over your monthly allotment of carbon, you are denied.
Okay.
But I love that the way he says that. We are working on so that you. Like that's how many times do we have to hear that, right? We're working on so that we're working on so that you can have this experience. Here's more. Sorry, Mr. Morgan, your vacation has been canceled because you have used your yearly allotment of carbon. Please return home and keep your energy use to under 2 hours per day for the next 6 weeks.
Yeah, that's scary.
Wasn't this just a conspiracy theory a year or so ago? They really should come with spoiler warnings from now on. Here's one woman who says, my bank is already doing this calculation for me. If you pay with credit card or Swift, they know exactly how much you use. They know exactly how much carbon you're using for...
Based on this transaction of the servers?
Yeah, I suppose.
Okay.
Yeah, this is what they're... I mean, this is amazing. So have I got this right? Neil says, they are going to track how I travel, where I travel, what I eat. Are you serious? This will be so they'll be able to limit our travel, where we travel, and tell us what we can eat. How are we letting this happen?
Okay, I'd like to circle around to a point about... military support then. So can we slap this tracker on military support and say, sorry, you already shipped a bomb this week. That bomb is currently leaking fuel into a water source of a local lake, so you don't get to ship another bomb this month.
Oh, you mean like
come back next decade? You
mean like these mines that just washed up in Ukraine?
Yes, you have used up your carbon footprint.
I'm sure these are great for fishing. Mm-hmm. Hey, mom, can I go play with this? No, honey, don't touch it. Literally. Can you imagine like kids down on the beach? They're like, hey, mom, I found this thing. When they hit this little nipple that sticks out, guess what happens? Billy, my friend, he just exploded.
Hula Hula says they're tracker jackers, like from
Hunger Games.
Hunger Games, yeah.
Like this is the kind of crap that washes up on the shores right now. And it would be amazing. I would actually, you know how that guy that was tracking Elon Musk?
Yes, his jet.
And Elon was not happy about it, offered to like pay him off and whatever. Wouldn't it be amazing if we had like a military carbon footprint tracker? Instead of like focusing on us citizens, since you said 80% of all
80% of all carbon emissions and energy usage in the American government is used up by the military.
So yeah, wouldn't it be great? It'd be great to have an app that we could look at and see, okay, how much carbon, what is the carbon footprint of all of the wars that we're involved in right now?
Right. National Forestry Institute, you're doing all right. You're not, you're not using up more than your share. That's fine. The IRS, well, you got a lot of servers. We don't have to like you, but you're not, shipping bombs. Okay. Military, we got a problem here, right?
A real problem.
You're eating a lot of avocados also. Pump off those muscles.
I think it is, when people say conspiracy theories and you think about the concerns that people have about this stuff, I mean, it's legitimate, right? It's like, oh, we think you're over your carbon limit, so you really shouldn't. As a bank, we're not going to allow you to book this travel. We at Visa think that you've reached your carbon limit. Like, this is like something out of science fiction, right? This is like something out of like a WALL-E movie or something, right?
He presents it as if like we are all dying to know this, right?
Yes, because that's what they think that's what they've taught. That's what they've told themselves. In the same way that ESG, right, is now such an important part of Wall Street, ESG governance.
But it would shoot big business in the foot if we all knew this, because you sort of put yourself in a grocery store right now, right? You would look at these individually wrapped like croissant or whatever, right? That it comes in a plastic package and each of them inside are plastic wrapped, right?
Right.
But there's big profits on that because it's a SKU. Whereas you could go over to the bakery and look at the croissant that they just made, and you'd see, well, these individually wrapped ones that were shipped across the country have a carbon footprint of a 10, and the ones that this lady just made have a carbon footprint of a 0 or a 2. So I'm going to buy these. So it actually would hurt big business a lot. You wouldn't buy, say, the apples from Washington State. If you're in New Jersey, you would buy the local ones. You wouldn't, right? And so it would collapse big business. I don't think they would give us this information. Even if you just put it, in Whole Foods, they have this sort of local label that's on, like you can see all the milk, and then there's one that has like a big local, humble brag. And that sort of is supposed to empower consumers to make different choices. But if this were, mandated, like in New York City, the calorie count has to now be like, would we make different choices and would it hurt them?
I don't know.
That's an interesting question.
Yeah. But the idea of monitoring, though, at Davos, like this is the thing, like we're going to have all of these spending habits. They're running in tandem with what the World Economic Forum's plans are to introduce a central bank digital currency, which, of course, we knew we would hear about, right? Which all the transactions will be monitored, documented, and ultimately controlled. So they're super excited about this. French Central Bank President Francois Villeroy de Galliou and Credit Suisse President Axel Lehmann excitedly had this panel discussing the digital currency scheme at Davos yesterday. Take a listen to their little enjoy about being able to track everything you do with their own digital currency.
Fast forward 5 years. Do we have a central bank digital coin out there in the world that is being utilized on a daily basis, whether it's wholesale or retail, and it becomes a superior system? Francois, yes or no?
We have several experiments which are not very far from that. Yeah. They're not yet generalized, but they could be, let's say, the next 3 years, probably. It will go quicker on the wholesale side, yes, I guess, because it raises less sensitive questions.
Yes. Axel?
No, I'm quite glad to hear what you're saying, François, on the wholesale digital currency, not coin. I am also a believer that will come in 5 years, yes. What I try to say is obviously, we still have those huge legacy environment. They need to migrate as well, so we will not yet see all the benefits coming through, but it will come and will be much more efficient, also probably much more secure, lowering transaction costs. On the retail side, I'm much more skeptical certainly call it for the, established economies.
Was he talking about Bitcoin, these legacy platforms? Is that what he said?
Well, I mean, I think he's talking about like the old, just sort of transactional platforms, right? Like, but here it's coming, like the digital currency. So it's all under one roof. They'll know exactly where these things move. They'll be able to track every transaction. Bye-bye to cash. That's going to be gone. And again, that's all, like almost every panel has something to do with some form of globalist control that's unelected, unconstitutional, separate from government constitutions, globalist power structure.
It is the Davos Man, the archetype of the Davos Man, for whom borders is just an annoyance in their way of control and profit that are thankfully being reduced right before their very eyes.
Thank you so much for subscribing to our channel. We've been banned, we've been blocked, we've been censored. That's why we started our own website, to stay connected with you for free.
That's right. So head on over to redacted.inc and make sure you're connected with us. You can sign up again at redacted.inc, not .com.